Okay, any additions to the agenda?
None, Your Worship.
None? No disclosure of interest? No presentations? Everybody's had the minutes of the previous council meeting, Monday, September the 21st, 2020, had a chance to read them over. Any errors or omissions? None? Bylaws, none?
Yeah, pass that.
Oh, yeah. Moved by Sarah, second by Cam. Be resolved, the minutes of Monday, September 21st, 2020, regular meeting of council be approved as presented. All in favor? Good. Correspondence. We have one here from, that we get all the time from the District of Thunder Bay Social Service Administration Board. And there's nothing in here for me to really read out. It's all something that's passed and seconded. And it doesn't really tell you what it's about. So all you can do is read these. Nothing here I can kind of read out here. One from the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Parkland dedication, development change charges, and community benefits charges authority. As you know, our government introduced the Housing Supply Action Plan last year with the goal of increasing the supply of housing across Ontario. As part of this effort, our government introduced the Community Benefit Charge Authority along with changes to the Development Charge Act and Parkland dedication under the Planning Act. Over the past years, the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing consulted with over 300 days with municipalities, the development industry, and the public on the implication of the framework, including several aspects, litigation and the regulatory approach. I have put input of our municipality partners. I am ready to inform you that on September the 18th, our government will proclaim the remaining amendments that were made to the Development Charge Act and the Planning Bill Act, Bill 108, the More Homes, More Choice Act, and Bill 197, the COVID-19 Economic Recovery Act. In addition, we made a new regulation under the Planning Act and technical changes to regulations under the Planning Act, Development Charges Act, and Building Code Act in order to finalize the framework for development charges, community benefits, and parkland. As of September 18, 2020, municipalities will have 2 years to transition to the new regime. This will enable both the municipalities and builders to adjust to these changes in light of the present pressure of COVID-19. You know, how many of these are going to read? Long one. This one, Environment and Climate Change Canada. This is all about the PIN numbers and that over the mill property, River Edge Development. Albert, could you maybe explain something on the PIN numbers they want?
Yes, Your Worship. This is basically the correspondence we got from the legal counsel back in regards to the Freedom of Information request to the ministry back early in the year, and we got a reply back from the Director of Access to Information and Privacy, and they denied a request in regards to retrieving any kind of documentation on any kind of investigation or testing that was done in the water.
Good.
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. And we have another one, NOHSC recovery program for business impacts by COVID-19.
I can, if you want to. Worship.
Yeah, but
Yeah, this is just a new program that's come out from the Ministry of Northern Development and Mines, and it focuses on northern business in relation to the impact that they've had on COVID-19. It's through NOHFC. It's another segment of NOHFC And this information will be posted on the website with a brochure. So businesses that are looking for assistance in regards to the impact that they've had of COVID-19, we urge them to go to our website, review the documentation, and there's contact numbers there for the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Okay, thank you very much. And then that brings us to your report, Albert.
Thank you, Your Worship. As you realize, I did not present a report the last time, which is only 2 weeks. So this is actually from September 8th to October the 5th. I have discussed Northern Planning and the residential development, the status of our official plan zoning bylaw on September 2nd, 2020. Step 1 has been completed with no objections on site-specific amendments at this time. Presentation by Silvio Di Gregorio, I guess is how you pronounce it, Gregorio, was conducted at the council meeting held on September 18, 2020. Next step is to advise the applicable agencies and residents of a public meeting for review of the official plan and zoning bylaw amendment, then proceed for approval by council. The public meeting will be conducted on October 19th, 2020 at 6 p.m. We're going to try this through electronic means if possible. We're still working on that because of the restrictions from the province on the number that you can have in here. Final subdivision plan approval by spring 2021 and construction thereafter. Collectively work with legal and mill properties in relation to reassessment and revise outstanding taxes, legal proceedings to be commenced soon. We'll work collectively with external partners, including council, on the strategic strategy required to deal with the reluctance of the present owner and government agencies to provide the FOI request to the mill property. I've reached out to Cascade to acquire the property promised to the township in order to seek development opportunities for potential site investors, and we do have one that's going to be coming up shortly that has expressed interest in the property downtown by the bank in relation to a seniors complex. We'll know more probably within the next month on that. Council has been informed the resignation of Municipal Secretary Whitney Odell and Community Development Officer Ashley Davis. They were very dedicated and hardworking employees. They will be missed, and we wish them well on their future endeavors. Employment advertising for the Municipal Secretary and Community Development Officer has been posted. Interviews for the Municipal Secretary start this week, tomorrow, and go to Thursday. Final decision will be made on Friday, and we had 7 applications for this position. We'll resume the CDO portfolio to a replacement as recruited. Ashley's been so kind as to provide a due list, and that will be given to me on her departure. This is important to have a contact for me with the application projects. We'll be working closely with limestone partners on the Red Rock policies and tourism action plan and strategies identified during the presentation September 18, 2020 to Council. I've not received an interest in relation to the operation of the bowling alley, just so you know. I would assume it has to do with COVID-19 logistics involved and the number of patrons permitted, not to mention the uncertainty of the recent resurgence of COVID-19 throughout Canada and Ontario. Administration dealt with 3 animal complaints this month, dogs running at large, an animal interference incident. Owners were contacted and educated and also reminded that fines will be issued if violations continue. We had no application for the animal control officer, so I guess I'll take this responsibility on at this time and repost unless somebody in council is looking for a part-time job.
Albert, can you give some information on the animal interference? What's an animal interference?
Where 2 similar breeds gotten a notification. Exploring partners of Red Rock development related to future tourism strategies for the community, related to contact information and retail opportunities for waterfront activities. We'll be researching connecting with a few hotel chains. Tom got back to me actually from Limestone, and they have some potential interest in that regard. So we're going to just leave that to them to deal with, and they'll be coming back to council within probably 4 to 5 weeks, my understanding, and some very potential investors. Yeah. Be notified that the asset assessment application submitted to FCM is still being considered. They're reviewing numbers 100 to 150 now, and we are at 294. So hopefully by December, we will receive word as to approval. We'll be reviewing township property that is available for development. We need to explore what surveys are available and relatively recent. Township will be arranging a joint meeting with Director Canada on MAFRA on the funding of a scale proposal for the water treatment plant. We have a meeting coming up, I believe, on October 15th, so we're going to discuss it at that meeting with both provincial and federal governments. I have requested from MAFRA project manager and Hatch Engineering consult the level status of the new water facility. There appears to be a rating that can be interpreted differently, so we're going to reach out to the Ministry of Environment and get clarification exactly where we stand. Reviewing application of Director of Operations, Director of Corporate Services. We have several for the Director of Operations and several for the Director of Corporate Services. Our building has been open since September 1st, and we've been following the COVID-19 protocols established for general public and staff. Process implemented is working well. Doesn't seem to be any issues. Had one multidisciplinary construction meeting in relation to the new wastewater plant at Haggis, and the township department on progress and status of the construction. Now here we go. This is a duplicate of what I had before, so I won't go into that. Temporary interim director of corporate service will be utilized to assist CEO and administration with the transition of new software and internal policy guideline review when and as required. CEO has been working with emergency management in relation to CMM transition training and required flow exercise, but I think that is being because we've had the COVID-19 declaration of emergency. This is considered as a training exercise, so therefore it won't be this fall. And ratification of the SIU agreement is on before October 15th, so you know. The present circumstances don't determine where you can go, they merely determine where you start.
Thank you.
The bowling league there, has anybody reached out to you or to the bowling league about maybe possibly running it themselves?
Nobody's reached out to me at all
Okay.
in regards to that.
Do you want me to reach out to the bowling league and see if that's something you're looking at? They can manage it themselves, would that be?
Yeah, I think they'd have to check with the health department too, right?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, with the increase, I think the reason why we haven't got any potential operators is because of the complexity of COVID-19, the sanitization, the spatial distancing, and especially when you're bowling in the ball, that all has to be sanitized. So maybe they're looking at the logistics, the work involved, and you know, the majority of users of that bowling alley are seniors, to be quite honest with you, and maybe that's one reason why nobody's reached out. But if you want to reach out to the league, by all means, it's still there for you, Councillor.
You know, I'll ask them and then get back to everybody here.
When does Kevin Roy start?
Kevin Roy's there as of now.
Is
And
he?
he works certain days a week there and certain days in public work with the garbage pickup. So there'll be certain days a week that we'll have people there for shimmy and everything else in the gym or whatever. And Mr. Sherrison has actually, I believe, drafted up the schedule for that, so the general public would know, and that we have staffing available.
I would like that front door unlocked in the daytime, because you have elderly people like Mr. and Mrs. Kennedy that they have gone down there for coffee, but they will not walk all the way around. When Kevin is there, if he can unlock the door, the front door, so he can get in.
I don't see why there shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, well, there has to be a stand and that disinfectant that there with it.
That's fine. That's fine. Basically, the majority of people that do go in there will know to go and sign in and use a hand sanitizer, so really technically, yeah, it would be nothing but that there.
Okay. Moved by Gord, second by Khan. Be resolved that the following payment be approved in the amount of $1,543,727.41. All in favor? Thank you. Community development. Actually.
Hello, everybody. So not whole lot has changed within the last month regarding the status of grant applications. Things are still moving pretty slow on all fronts regarding those. So the first couple ones, the accessibility fund, still under review. The infrastructure grant for the recreation center is still under review. The Red Rock Mountain Trail and the Michigan River Recreation Trail directional signage entries, so the Michigan River Recreation Trail signage. They've both been ordered, they're in my office. We have an installation permit for the Michigan River sign, but not for the Red Rock Mountain Trail sign, so we're still waiting on the MTO to approve that sign, and then we can have both of them installed at the same time. The contractor is ready to go, we're just waiting for the final okay. And then that is a program funded by Trans Canada Trail, so that means once they're installed, there is requirement requirements after that. So far, Trans Canada Trail has been kept up to loop and the status of everything, so it's still the waiting game. The green infrastructure grant for the Brompton and Newton water wastewater still under review. The economic partnership regarding the infrastructure upgrades to the Michigan River Recreation Trail is complete. So the bridges, the stairs, and other repairs have been done, and all dangerous parts rerouted. So that was just in time for the hike for help if anybody did decide to do that route. The new trailhead signs for both the Michigan Trailhead and the Red Rock Trailhead are currently being developed through the Michigan and that was their project. So the FEDNOR and NOHFC applications for the community strategic plan. We got the AOK, the final invitation on Monday of last week for FEDNOR's phase 2 application. So it was all ready to go once we had the application in, so it's been sent off. So that is, their typical turnaround is 60 days, so we'll see what happens regarding that. But NOHFC is, phase 2's been submitted for a while, so they're just kind of waiting on FEDNOR to kind of see what they do. And the similar situation with the RV park campground business assessment study. Both phase 2 applications have been submitted to NOHFC and FEDNOR. So it's just waiting on the review, and the RFP for the RV park and campground assessment study has been worked on. Just finalizing that. The broadband, the CENGN broadband community expression of interest. It was a very oversubscribed program. They only chose one community out of all of Northwestern Ontario, which is Erie Sound North, to be matched to be matched with one tech company. So this is their third project. So they've done one project, did the same process with the community expression of interest. So this is what was their third go. Red Rock was not selected. I did reach out to them to find out, okay, what were they looking for? Is it something that the community doesn't have the scale, the population? They often like to have increased measurables for the number of people served by these upgrades. So I have not heard back from them yet, and that was sent out last week. So hopefully, whoever monitors the email will be able to hear back from them. As the all-season tourism strategy completed by Limestone, the strategy and action plan have been posted on the website. And there's also a link to Limestone. They are very large documents, so they didn't post them for now, but the documents are posted on our website as well. The province still hasn't released their reporting template for the Ontario Summer Experience Program. So all of the other reporting's up to date for the summer students, but that one's kind of still in limbo. A marketing, NOHFC marketing intern, so that application was submitted. Job description was developed. So this is basically to take the information that was presented in the all-season tourism strategy and create a marketing action plan for the assets that the community already has to bring people here. This individual would also work in partnership with Superior Country in developing blog posts and content to promote the community, At one point, there were a couple day itineraries based on the activities that were in the area. That was very outdated, so this is something that they'd be looking at as well. And then assisting with the website reorganization to make sure that the website has, the community is able to market itself to visitors, businesses, and potential investors as well. So that's kind of looking at a reorganization. And then promoting that, various social media platforms to kind of go along with this Superior Country Circle Tour marketing strategies. They have the content basis, so it's taking that and applying it to the community itself and using the platforms that already exist. So for this internship, NOHFC would fund $31,500, and the township would be responsible for $4,900 plus any employer expenses. So that is under review. And then the final project that was on the go, I just received the final website estimate to get based on user feedback, as well as kind of behind the scenes, making sure that both visitors, residents, potential investors are able to find the information that they're looking for when they're looking to come to Red Rock, as well as residents trying to find all of the information that they're looking for. There should be at least 3 ways for everybody to find whatever information they're looking for. Right now, that's very challenging. So there was a technology adoption fund administered through the Northwestern Ontario Innovation Centre in Thunder Bay for website upgrades covering up to 75% of a total value of $10,000. So that would be the reorganization of the website to make it easier to navigate for residents and visitors alike. They had a minimum of 2 estimates necessary. 2 estimates were received for these upgrades, and the final application will be submitted tomorrow afternoon for that. So, both estimates, the providers of both of those estimates know that it is funding based, so whether or not the funding is approved. So that's basically where things are at. There is a final document that has a list of all of the projects and their statuses, contact personnel, and various funding allotments, so that is ready to go. I am still in town if anybody has any questions regarding anything. Be careful.
Any questions for Ashley's report?
Not one.
Thank you very much, Ashley, for a very nice report.
Thank you, Ashley.
Next report is on Quad Council. Our Quad Council meeting there last week. It was very good meeting. We got some good stuff done. What's the matter?
Well, that comes up on new business.
Yeah, it's not yet. And anyways, Nipigon and First Nations offered to get on board with us to go after river edge development. So we want to have a meeting with them because we are thinking of bringing W5 loose people in. And especially the reserve, they're gung-ho to help us out. But the only thing is I haven't called a meeting right now, but we can, I guess, maybe for next week sometime. But if any news person comes here right now, there's construction going on down there. They're down there cleaning up some orders that's against them. They're not doing much of a cleanup, just burying. But anyways, I think we have to find out how long these guys are here for. And then make sure they're not here when we do bring somebody in. I don't think it'd be very good to come in and there's a crane down there and bulldozer working. We tell them that, but we are going to go after them, and we do have these other towns with us. I will be calling a meeting probably next week or the week after, very shortly. See where we go from there. I don't think these guys are going to be here that much longer anyways. And with the fire department proposal, I was really surprised that they thought it was a good proposal and a good idea. I think Dorian is quite happy with what they're doing right now. And, but like, Richard Harvey was saying, if we hired a fire chief for the 2 towns or 3 towns, it wouldn't cost us much more because we'd also make this guy maybe building inspector, clean up here, what do you call it, and drive around.
Officer, building official.
So it wouldn't really cost us that much more money. We wouldn't be getting rid of your fire chief, you could have a lead hand at each fire hall, but you'd have one main chief. So I don't know if we're gonna wait and bring that up our next, another council meeting, probably. It's something serious to think about. Which I think it's a good idea to go that way. But we have to bring Vivian on board with this, which I don't think Dorian will. Well, he already said, they're quite happy with it. But we will be having another meeting with these quad council, like I said, within the next week. We can talk about that again, but we will be talking mostly on the mill. Or do anything, or anybody else got anything to say on the quad council?
I have nothing, I was just taking minutes. You know, unless Councilor Tedesco or Councilor Deere has anything to say.
No comment.
Okay, unfinished business. New business. Well. Excuse me. It's something I gotta do. I don't like to do it because I just didn't want to lose this girl. I mean, every day I go in that office and it was always friendly. Good morning, Gary. I went in there this morning, he wasn't there. No, I'm really gonna miss Whitney. The school had phoned me that there's a reference for Whitney and I was gonna give them a real bad one. But I told them no. That she was, they're very, very lucky to get Ashley. And whoever I was talking to, doing the hiring, they better watch themselves because they'll be working for Ashley in about a year's time. She's very smart. Ashley, it's just bring up flowers. Whitney,
Okay.
sorry, I got another one. It's just a big flower, but
Thank you.
we wish you a lot of luck in your new job.
Thank you.
I told my daughter I was gonna make you cry.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit cold-hearted. Nice try.
Sammy said she's gonna cry. I said, I know I'm gonna make her. Ashley, the same thing. I look forward to going out of my office and making coffee. And then calling Ashley, she'd come over and sit and talk for quite a while. Always good conversation. And this is another very smart lady. So whatever you're going to be doing, you're going to do that. And we are at the Township and thank you very, very much. And I can get these to my wife and we'll stay working for her. Want to stay working for us? No, we're done with that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Still not too late to change your mind. Moved by Sarah, second by Ortiz. Be it resolved, council accept the resignation of Ashley Davis, CDO, and Whitney O'Donnell, municipality secretary, with regrets. All in favor? Thank you. The collective agreement ratification.
The confirmation support that maybe Councilor Deere can enlighten council.
Yeah, so there's a request document for support, I guess, previous years from Black Rock. This year it was confirmation of support from municipal government, or equivalent authority came in. So this was attached in there. It sent to me, asked to be signed, but, I ended up bringing it to council, so I'm ready to review it. Have a discussion. The description in kind is on the second page, which what the township provides for their full festival.
It's pretty well everything that we always did every other year. The only thing that I'd like to see is, them show us that do they need all this for nothing, or something? Can they pay for something? Did they make much money last year? Not last year, yeah, last year.
I mean, what I could do is have discussions with them. I mean, they're doing their planning now, so they would have plans in place for this year, within the kind that they previously had. Discussions can be had with them, possibly for the future. Definitely, council wants to let me open a dialogue with them at our meeting as a liaison. I can start doing that.
Yeah, I think we have to have somebody there.
But I have been there, yeah. If you guys want to approve opening up dialogue, we can go from there.
That's
And as far as this goes, is this okay to go put through? Yes. Everybody hearing it?
Yeah, I totally support it. I hope we get the opportunity to have it.
Yeah.
I'm actually not gonna sign unless they let me play.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
We're not gonna sign it if they let you.
I think the mics are off.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Wind this down, Albert.
By board, second by county. Be resolved, council approves and supports grant application for NOHFC in regards to Live from the Rock Coast Festival. All in favor?
Okay, well, sign. So, fax one off in the morning, or, sorry, I'll scan it, you know, in the morning.
Move away their piece, second by Sarah. Be resolved, council move in camera at 7:35 p.m. in order to address a matter pertaining to labor relations or employee negotiations. The receiving of advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. All in favor? By board, second by Cam, resolve this meeting to adjourn at 8:46.